There's an interesting little story about why I'm giving my remarks, and the Premier is sitting in the guest of honor box to my left. But how it transpired was I was invited in my capacity as Minister of Aboriginal Affairs, and subsequent to that, the Premier, Kathleen Wynne, found out about the event. She has such high regard for the work that Chief Fontaine has done over the years, and has such high regard for the Jewish community, especially in their recognition of that work of the Aboriginal Affairs, that she decided to attend in her private capacity. The Premier is a very, very busy woman. She tries to have one day a week, Sunday, as downtime, private time. But she came here tonight, and I think it would be remiss of me and of us to not invite the Premier to the podium. I know you're not prepared for this, but
Thank you, David. I stole his notes. But I'm not going to make a long speech. I want to thank all of the people who are associated with Ve'ahavta for the work that you are doing, for honoring the people who you are honoring tonight. I had a little lesson from one of the guests about the various terms that I have heard used over the years and the relationship between them. So the relationship between Derech Eretz, when I was working in the work of conflict resolution, I worked in many of the Hebrew day schools, and the Derech Eretz portion of the curriculum allowed very easily for work in peacemaking and helping kids and teachers to resolve conflict in new ways. And then we talked about mitzvahs. But tikun olam, I think, captures for me why we're on the planet, quite frankly. And to be here in an evening when people who have intentionally gone about finding ways to heal the world, I think it's a great honor. Now, I don't know all of the honorees, but I want to congratulate Joe Gottdenker and Fegi Liebman and Moishe Hammer and Dr. Andrew Seymour and Jamie and Alexandra Eckler. But there are 3 honorees who I do know, and I want to particularly thank and honor Phil Fontaine, Chief Fontaine. I think that there is no challenge greater on this continent and in this time of ours than healing the relationships among all of us who came after and our First Nations and Aboriginal people. And so I want to thank Chief Fontaine and to congratulate him on being recognized tonight. And I know Amanda and Joshua Belzowski. Amanda and Josh, I met. They were my constituents in Don Valley West, and they sold lemonade. They sold a lot of lemonade, and you're going to hear about them later on. But they're remarkable young people. Amanda's now a young woman in high school. I met her when she was in grade 6 or 7, and their spirit and their determination is quite something. So I know that all of the people who are being awarded tonight have that same spirit. And as I say, I believe that we do well to honor this kind of intentional living. The last thing I will say is this. When I stand in grocery lines, and my partner Jane is here tonight, and she will tell you I don't do that very often, but when I do, I have the great privilege of, for the most part, people coming up to me and talking about what matters to them most. And there is a huge range of things that matters to people. But the great privilege of being a politician is that people want me to know. They want David and me to know what they believe will make the world better. It may make their corner of the world better. And I know there's some city planners in the house tonight. You know, it may mean that it just will make their neighborhood better. But the fact is that most people are seized with ideas about how to improve things. And so it is a huge honor to be a politician and to be able to hear those things. It is not always easy to fix everything, and you know, we get trapped sometimes into the notion that it's simple to fix all of the problems in the world. But I just want this room to know, this room full of people who care about making the world a better place, that I believe that the highest responsibility of politicians is to find ways to do exactly the same thing. So it's an honor to be here, and I hope that David and I and our government can live up to your expectations of political life, and that we can be part of whatever we can do to heal the world. So thank you very much for having me here tonight. Miigwech.